welcome back to the channel. Today, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about my fascination with the paranormal, the unexplained. Now, any of you know the paranormal, about ghosts and cryptids and UFOs, and aliens and crop circles and anything like those, unexplained, all falls in that category. Why is it so fascinating to me? I'll tell you. So back in the year early mid-90s, I was like 6 years old. Just me and my dad, we were at home. We were on the back deck. Now you have to remember this. I grew up in rural Virginia. There was no light pollution from the city whatsoever. You could see every star constellation in the sky. And I loved just looking up at the stars and seeing that. We even sat in a hammock one night and watched the meteor shower, and you could see all of it. It was awesome. Anyway, this night, my dad and I were on the deck, and all of a sudden, we had the tree line in the backyard, and just above the highest trees, just above the tops of the highest trees in the backyard, we saw a UFO. Because we had never seen anything like that before. We're talking like 1994, okay? It's only so much it could have been back then. This thing, I haven't been able to find an actual picture that even resembles it. Until recently, I actually found one that's really close to it. But it's a little bit longer and different colored. But the shape is basically the same. Now this thing, the best way I can describe it, it moved up and down like a wave. And it was fast. And I saw it twice. And it was like a string of lights. But they were more like rocks. Or balls. But it was weird. Because the first time I saw it, it was 3 different colors. It was green, orange, and yellow. And there's only about 5 of them in the string. This was both times. The second time I saw it, it was all green. And ever since then, I've just been fascinated with the paranormal. Now, do I believe it 100% exists? No. I believe in the possibility that it exists. And that there is evidence out there that shows and proves that there is something out there that is unexplained. And, there's paranormal enthusiasts, there's ghost hunters, paranormal investigators. I like that term. I always thought it would be cool to do that. Well, anyway, so I'm into all that, and there was a show I used to watch. Well, actually, if anyone remembers sci-fi back in the 90s, when the logo was Saturn and it was SCIFI, there was a show that came on around 9 a.m. during the weekdays. I used to watch it. It was called Sightings, and it was about all the different paranormal stuff at the time. UFOs, ghosts, crop circles, cryptids, all that stuff. Love that show. Dad watched it too. And ever since then, I've been watching shows like that, and I've just been, hooked on that, on the aspect, because I just think it is so cool. I've seen a UFO. I know there's UFOs out there because I've seen one. I believe in that. And so other shows like that I've watched. Of course, you got Unsolved Mysteries, especially Robert Stack. Everybody remembers that. His voice is just unique. They had that kind of stuff on that too. And then along come like Discovery Channel, Travel Channel. I have Travel Channel now. But back then, I would watch a show called Weird Travels. Bonus point to anyone who remembers that show. I specifically remember an episode I was watching where they showed like 5 different things on the same episode. They showed like UFOs and aliens. They showed, then it was just all about cryptids. So there was I think there was Bigfoot. I believe the Loch Ness Monster was on there, and I know there was Mothman and a Jersey Devil. And that episode just sticks out in my mind for some reason. I'm not sure why. I think it's because it had all of that in one episode, and I used to love that show. That used to be a really cool show. Now, I watch shows like that, and yes, I have to admit, I do watch Ghost Adventures. I can't help it. Like stuff like that, no shit like that, do I believe it's 100% real? No. Because you never know what's actually going on the show, what they're capturing. Some of it could have been real, yeah. Do I believe their experiences? Yeah. I believe they've had experiences. you know. And other shows that I watch, another one that I throw in here because I just think it's hysterical, Mountain Monsters. I love the Ames team, I'm sorry. Rest in peace, Trapper. They are awesome. And they go after cryptids in the Appalachians. Bigfoot. Bigfoot is their main one, but they've gone after other ones too. And they're just hysterical. And it's just so much fun to watch. And those type of creatures, anything can be out there. So do I believe that they're out there? Yeah, they could very well be out there. Is it 100% the truth? No. Is there evidence of this stuff out there? Yeah. I mean, people find hair of Bigfoot all the time. And there's different kinds of Bigfoots. I mean, and then like in Mountain Monsters, Bigfoot, they go up at different, even in different states. You know, and then there's just ones that stick out of my mind. I just think they're wild. Especially I'll think of it in a minute, but it's in North Carolina and has red eyes. Anyway, that one's actually kind of scary because you don't see it, and apparently only the people who have seen it, besides Buck apparently, you have to be by yourself to see it. You know, it's one of those shapeshifter kind of things. And Ashe County. It's from Ashe County, North Carolina. And the Sukaloo is what the Cherokee called it. And I can't think of what the regular name for it is though for some reason. I'm having a really big blank moment, but that one sticks out of my mind. And you have the Cherokee Death Cat. And Cherokee Devil. That's what I'm trying to think of. That's the one with the red eyes. That one sticks out in my mind. And there's actually a Cherokee name for it. It's Sukaloo. And if you Google some of these ones that they go after, they're actually real. I mean, you can actually find them on Google and not just Mountain Monsters. Some of them just come with Mountain Monsters, but some of them, they actually come up with different websites and Wikipedias on the actual creature and not just Mountain Monsters. So I think it's just fascinating. And anyway, but yeah, stuff like that. I've watched just about any paranormal show you can think of. I've seen it. Ghost Hunters International, Paranormal State, you know. And then, of course, let's see what Paranormal Lockdown was good. Portals to Hell, I like that one. And one that cracks me up. I love watching this, even though it's just the replay right now. But the Osbournes Want to Believe. That one makes me laugh. I like that one. And what's that one I'm trying to think of? There's just so many, and I'm just blanking for some reason. But yeah, there's just there's a lot. And then, but most of them are now on Discovery Plus, and we go back and forth with having Discovery Plus. Right now, we can't afford it at the moment. But I want to let you know the secret. I read something that if you do like Discovery Plus and you also have HBO Max, next year those two are going to combine. So you're going to have HBO Max and Discovery Plus in the same streaming platform. So look out for that. But yeah, a lot of new episodes are now on Discovery Plus. Like Mountain Monsters is on Discovery Plus. They will show the new season of Mountain Monsters on Travel Channel. Like this year, it was actually on the same time they're putting it up on Discovery Plus. So that was cool because I didn't have Discovery Plus at that moment. Anyway, but yeah, I like watching all those kinds of shows. Anyway, so that's that. And you know, there are some YouTubers that we used to watch, but we don't really watch that kind of YouTube stuff anymore. The one that I still have that I like, besides Exploring with Josh, I watch him every once in a while. He has some really cool stuff. But he goes all over the world. He's really cool. The other one that I still have is Top Fives. That is a really cool channel. So if you want to learn anything about paranormal and stuff like that, and unexplained mysteries, that's a good channel to follow. Subscribe to. And but The other thing I'm actually fascinated about is one of my ultimate favorite episodes of Ghost Adventures. Is one of their first Halloween episodes, Halloween specials, when they went to Romania. So they did Dracula's castle, but the one that fascinated me the most is the Hoyobasho forest. That forest is, that's a crazy forest. There's literally a circle in the middle of that forest where nothing grows, and it's like unexplained as to why. People have the weirdest experiences in that forest. And not only did Ghost Adventures go there, but there's another show I used to watch. I love this show, but Destination Truth. Josh Gates, he has other shows now, but I like Destination Truth. And he has Exploration Unknown now. That's on Discovery Channel. But Destination Truth was one of my favorites. He went there on that show and had some wild experiences. That forest is just so fascinating to me. I couldn't tell you why. There are people that would go in that forest and never come back. They think that in that forest there are portals to other dimensions, which kind of makes sense. With feelings that some people would get in the forest, which they would be unexplained, they would feel that. It's like you're there but not. So, that makes me think. What if the reason why they didn't come back out of that forest is because they had walked into another dimension? They're one of the portals. If it's there. It's just something that I just thought about, you know? You know, maybe that's why. Maybe they've been there the whole time and we just didn't know it. So that forest is very fascinating to me. And another place that's fascinating to me is actually here in the U.S., in the southwest U.S., like Arizona, I think. Skinwalker Ranch is fascinating to me. Because they have all kinds of different experiences there. And not just like ghosts, and not just skinwalkers, but they also see UFOs and aliens, they say. So that place is fascinating to me as well. Anyway, but yeah, that's just places. I've always wanted to see an actual crop circle. I just think they're just so fascinating. Like, all of a sudden, overnight, they're made in these fields, and they're huge, and they're intricate, and they're really cool, but they're big. Like, how can you make something like that overnight? I mean, yeah, there are definitely hoaxes with it, of course. It's still fascinating though, because some of it's not. Some of it's just so unexplained. You know, they're just intricate and they're huge, and they're literally there overnight. You wake up next morning, all of a sudden, you walk into this, and then there's just huge crop circle out of nowhere. But anyway, this is a book I love. I've had this book for a while. It's called The Unexplained, an illustrated guide to the world's paranormal mysteries, and it's got everything in it. Everything you could think of as paranormal and unexplained in it. And they separate in this by places. So you got chapter 1 is Great Britain and Ireland, and then it goes into Europe and the Middle East and Africa, and then Asia, then North America, and then South America, and then, you know, Australia and over there. There's 7 chapters. So it literally goes by place to place. And in the beginnings of each chapter, they'll show you a map. Now, I don't know if you can really see it, but in this map, they have this diagram up here, key to phenomena. They'll have little icons. So you have like flying, water, elements, land animal, human, sights, and paranormal. And there's different little icons for it all over the map, and it'll show you. And it'll actually have the names next to it too. Now it's one of the things that fascinates me from the UK actually is the black-eyed children. I don't know why, that's just fascinating. And then, you know, people claim to see fairies over there. That's really fascinating as well. Green children. I mean, and you just see like all the different things in here, and it separates it by, you know, continents and countries. It'll separate it by place, and it'll show the history, like cats with wings, and it shows different animals. And then of course you got Nessie. You gotta include Loch Ness Monster. But yeah, over there's where you see the most crop circles. So anyway, and we're talking like mermaids, fairies, stuff like that, and then different things like you got the Holy Thorn and the Holy Grail. twixt heaven and earth, present and past. The little people. I mean, it's just all different stuff like that. And you'll have like the crying statue of Mary in here. Fairies. Apparently it's like the actual photograph here of a little girl that's like in England, I think, with fairies on it. I mean, some of this I'm like, how? You know? Moving statue. Crop circles, see? See, this is the crop circles. That's what I'm talking about. Right here. Some of it are so intricate that I'm like, how do they make that overnight? You know? And of course you got Stonehenge and Easter Island and all that. But yeah, that's all in here. Gathering of Ghosts. Britain's ghostly royal family. Great Britain and UK and Ireland and Scotland and Wales, those are some of the most haunted places. Because it's some of the most oldest places, of course. So the older the place, the more haunted it's probably going to be. Like the 3 most haunted cities here in the U.S. St. Augustine, which is one of my ultimate favorite cities, I've been there. And the other 2 I've always wanted to go to and haven't been to yet, so I'm still hoping I get to go there someday. Charleston, South Carolina, and of course, New Orleans, Louisiana. I wanted to go to New Orleans forever. My grandma got to go to Mardi Gras in 1970. Anyway. And then you go in chapter 2, continental Europe. So it goes into more in Europe, like Spain and France and all that. Italy. And all this stuff there. And it just goes by different places in the chapter. See, vampires. Now we're getting vampires in Romania. Historical mysteries. I mean, it separates it like that. You know. And it even has the Caribbean in here as well. This book is just so cool because it's got everything in it. It even talks about Nostradamus. He kind of creeps me out though. Anyway. Just to how right he's been is what creeps me out. Anyways. And then, you know, it just goes on and on. And Bigfoot's in here. And there are different Bigfoots all around the world. So here, of course, you got the Bigfoot. And you have, down in Florida, you have the skunk ape. The reason why they call it the skunk ape is because it smells really bad like a skunk. And you know you're close to it. And of course you got the Yeti, you know, which is in like the Himalayas and, you know, like the abominable snowman. And then Australia has one. Yeah, the Yowie. I believe is what that one is called. And there's just, all around the world they have different ones. People seeing they just give them names over time. And they have just, there's different ones even here in the US, not just Bigfoot, but of course you have, you know, Cherokee Devil, the Grass Man, Dust Man, Lightning Man, the Thunder Brothers. I like, they're fascinating. Watch Mountain Monsters, you just get all the names to everything. Anyway, and of course, you know what else is in here? The crystal skulls. Those are fascinating as well. But pyramidology and pyramid power. Ancient Egypt is also one of the things that's always fascinated me. Just has. I think it's so cool. Or else the Sphinx. You know. I mean, but yeah. Cryptic creatures of every kind. And people even think they still even see dinosaurs. I mean, it's just so cool. I'm just kind of flipping pages. And just, you know, any kind of the Flying Dutchman. Ooh, that's an actual, okay. Sorry, reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean. And SpongeBob. Just saying. Forgot that was in here. That's really cool. Anyway, hikers and the bikers. Look. Feed me, Seymour. I didn't realize that was in here. I haven't looked at this book in a while, but then it goes chapter 4 is Asia, and they have it every single like continent, a place that they have in here. They'll have that little key and all the creatures in here, and they'll probably talk about it in here. You know, and they even got the Dalai Lama in here, and just different things. You know, let's go see into the footsteps of the Yeti. See, Yeti's in Asia. Blue tigers. Look at this. And the footprints of them, that's another evidence. Those worms. Giant worms are weird. Anyway, is that the orang pendant? Yep, orang pendant. I remember that too. I've seen that somewhere. Diamond of doom and disturbing fingernails. That's not good. Anyway, and they even talk about feral children. Yeah, everything here. And here's North America. I mean, Mad Gasser. So everything in here. So we got lizard men. That's even in here. There's another one, the Dover Demon and the Jersey Devil. I mean, wow. You know, and of course some, you know, some aren't actually real. You know, some are like, it's that website. People go make horror stories on it. I can't even think of it now. But flying saucers, UFOs, alien spacecraft, audio, sky beasts. See? UFOs. More UFOs. That's just weird. Anyway. But yeah, I'm just scrolling through this. You know, goblins and just any kind of creature. And of course, Mothman. I've always been fascinated with Mothman. Mothman has been seen right before big disasters. They say that Mothman was seen right before September 11th happened at Twin Towers in New York City. Just saying. They just, you know, giant birds and the Ogopogo. I remember the Ogopogo. I've heard of that one. Lake monsters and here we go, Bigfoot. The only thing about Bigfoot is they've always seemed to be like blurry images of it and video. Like even now, with all the technology we have, you can't get a clear image of Bigfoot yet. That just confuses me a little bit. Yeah, this book is just so cool. So you ever find this book anywhere, pick it up. And he even talks about James Dean in here. You know, so if you're into this kind of stuff like I am, this is a really cool book. Ball lightning and spook lights. That's in Texas. That's a really cool phenomenon. I mean, even got Abraham Lincoln and Kennedy. Just about anything, any kind of mystery you could ever think of is probably in this book. Mysteries of the Titanic. I mean, and then it goes into South America. Which you have to think. Oh, the one thing in South America that it's always fascinating me is the Nazca lines and those, you know, those drawings, those huge drawings that only you could you can only see them from the sky. Those are cool. I forget what those are actually called, but it's the Nazca lines and those drawings, those carvings. And they're all different. I mean, you can literally see it's like a spaceman, and then there's like this giant spider. You know, get those. The Nazca lines. Okay, they are the Nazca lines. They are part of the Nazca lines. Okay. I couldn't remember if they were or not, or they had a different, you know, word for that. But yeah, that's always fascinated me as well for South America. And of course, what's going to be in here is also in here somewhere. Is Chupacabra. It's in here somewhere. I don't really exactly know where, but you know. But yeah, this is really, really cool. I mean, any creature, anything is in here. Here's the Crystal Skull. The Crystal Skulls of Doom. By the way, I have that movie on DVD, Indiana Jones and Crystal Skull. So, by the way, if you're a horror fan, if you watch the beginning of Indiana Jones where he runs into that nuclear testing site, it will probably remind you of The Hills Have Eyes, like it did for me. For some reason, it was the first thing I thought of. And I used to watch scary movies. Zombies. I mean, they even have zombies in here. I'm not sure what that is. Hey, here's Chupacabra. It's in here. Found it. And the Bermuda Triangle. That's the other thing that's always fascinating as well, is the Bermuda Triangle. Things just disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. Planes, ships, you know. It just makes you think. Like, there are other dimensions, you know. Is the Bermuda Triangle a portal to another dimension? I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything. It's just something that's just always fascinated me. And then we got Australia. So, Bunyip. I feel like I've heard of that one before as well. There's a lot of Bunyip. Anyway, I can't remember. I think that's what it's called, is a Yowie in Australia. I believe. Yeah, Yowie. Man beast. That's right. There you go. There's a rock. I mean, even stuff like that, you know. Well, anyway, this is the book. I'm almost at the end. There's the Easter Island. So yeah, anything like that you could think of is in this book. This is a really, really cool book. But yeah, so that's just the fact. There's the Yowie. Yeah, that's just something about me. You know, I just been fascinated with it. You know, Secrets of the Islands, Min Lights, and the Music of the Spheres. Ooh, that sounds cool. I mean, just anything is in here. It kind of reminds me of the show Sightings, but in a book form. And that's it. But yeah, so if you ever do come across this book, bring it to buy. You know, and you're like interested in the paranormal like I am, check that out. So yeah, that is me and my fascination with the paranormal. Yeah, I've always been weird like that. I don't know why. I just always found it fascinating. And like I said, do I think it's 100% true? No. I believe in the possibility that it exists. And there is evidence out there that shows that there is something that exists. You know? A lot of it is definitely made up because people can be gullible and will believe it. You know? And of course, Photoshop. You cannot forget Photoshop. And again, how can, with all the technology we have now, we still just have blurry images and videos of Bigfoot? That one just kind of makes my head like, someone's got to get a clear image of him someday. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video and a little precursor into Halloween, I guess. I can't wait for Halloween season. Yes, there are Spirit Halloween's already open. I do plan to go to mine soon, at some point. I just have to get into the Halloween mood. It's still August and it's so hot. So I kind of have to get into the Halloween mood, but I'll get there. And I will get to Spirit Halloween. I will do that. Anyway, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, comment. Don't forget to click that little bell icon so you know when the next video is coming out. And thank you for watching.